We'll get rolling. All right, for today, we'll hit God dang. We'll hit the end of game, end of half, and then we will do weapons, right? Like so all the tools in your tool belt for essentially gaining extra yards, right? So right now we'll go over this stuff, kind of have them into two different categories, right? The ones on the left are kind of those 2 minute. We're rolling, we're trying to go. The ones on the right, hey, these are the ones we're trying to kill some time and end the game. Okay. So again, these are recorded on the Zoom. So I'm gonna fly through this stuff just for the sake of getting you guys out of here. You can always pause it, go back, replay, all that stuff. So don't worry about writing them all down right now. But slider, okay, we are running what route, Mike? Okay. Are we getting out of bounds or getting upfield, Kai? Yeah, getting out of bounds, right? Catching, and you're not trying to get greedy. Okay, you can kind of drift upfield as you're getting out of bounds, but you got to get out of bounds right away. So, slider, we're just trying to get, or let me ask you guys, you guys know what the objective of this play is? Yeah, get cheap yards, right? Just get a couple, maybe it's second and three, right? And we got, 12 seconds on the clock. We got, either we have a timeout, or we know we can get a first down, just getting some cheap yards, and maybe get 3, 4, 5, 6 yards more into field goal range, something like that. So that is slider. Okay, get down or get out of bounds. Speed. Okay, what is this objective? What's the objective on this play? Yeah, for the offense, for the entire team. Nope. Why would we run speed as opposed to like clocking? If you don't know, you don't know. That's okay. We've ran this, tried to run it one time this year or last year. We didn't even get to it. But speed is when there is either it's really to avoid a booth review, right? Or get the ball snapped right off the rip, right? So if we got someone bobbled a pass or a catch or whatever it is, like, hey, speed, 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 everyone just get 2 by 2. You guys are just blocking forever. So same thing as like, we get them jump off sides in rock band, get in front of the quarterback, your feet are on a cliff, your heels are on a cliff, can't back into his pocket, right? And then we're gonna just run, logger concept on both sides. Speed, okay. Um, No, speed is not Ricky Lucky. Speed is like wherever you are, just gets lined up and then help block, right? Be aggressive in pass pro. Okay, so we're trying to avoid the spike, or really the booth review is a big one there. Okay. Now if we got like 8 seconds left and we know we only have one more play, this could be another option. Speed, speed, speed. So, but yeah, good question. You're just blocking forever, not right or left. Just get in the pocket, get into a gun alignment with the quarterback, and just protect forever. Scorcher, we've gone over this quite a bit, but for the new guys, okay, this will be really the last play of the game, more or less. It's not always the last play, so you guys got to know, if I'm just getting right out of bounds, or if it truly is the last play, would you go out of bounds? If it's the last play, no, you're not going to go out of bounds, right? So got to know how much time is on the clock. If it's 3 seconds, right, and we're on the six, and we were on Scorcher, okay, really six are out. It doesn't matter. Like you're running a comeback and you're trying to get in the end zone and score. Okay. If there's a lot of time, okay, get out of bounds, save the clock. That's the priority in the 2 minute stuff. So that green is the end zone for the visualization here. You're going to always be in what alignment? Starts with the B. Yeah. Book. Yeah. Your book. Sand, right? Boundary outside. You're going to be in the sand. You're going to run a comeback between the 5 and the goal line. So it can be at the 4, it can be at the 3, it can, whatever. Okay. It doesn't have to be. I think every time Lan ran it, he ended up going to like the 1 to the goal line. It doesn't have to be that way. So for this, we got some tape of a couple of these things, but here we are in the book alignment. Okay. Let's see what the situation is. All right. 10 seconds. Right. So we got 10 seconds. We're on the 26. Okay. Realistically, for you to run and catch this ball, can you get out of bounds? in enough time.
Yes.
Probably, right? Because we're basically on the 20. Right now, if you're on the 30, probably not, right? So it's probably the last play and just go. Okay. And also is going to, like, you guys got to know, hey, do we have any timeouts left? And we do. So you either need to like get out of bounds right off the rip, or if you feel like, hey, that guy fell down or he bailed or whatever, you can quickly try and get in. But no, 10 seconds, I can't fuck around. I got to get out. Okay. So we're on the 20, damn near the 20 here. Full speed, like we're getting into the end zone. Is land correct here? No, right? He's got to push that further, but really good job just getting out of bounds. Okay. And we give ourselves 4-ish seconds by the time that hits. All right, five home clock. All right. We got 5 seconds left to run a play. What? You like to hope the Ags get, some help at home. Okay. Now if you got Dan Plow running it, you guys remember the spring game? The Coach Plow's dad was running the clock, so it's all just all fucking. He's like doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, yeah.
Were you coming right back down our step, or were you angling towards
Angle towards the side, just like Land's doing here, right? You can see he adjusted the ball, but he's on this angle. Yeah, so you're at like a 45-degree outside. Okay, good question. So that's that's scorcher, end of half, end of game, right? We can run it with both. Okay, then here's another variation of it. When we go to, I think this is, yeah, hold on. Let me, it's out of order. Okay, so I fixed the drawing, make sure that that's not an excuse anymore because it was having you guys a little too far downfield. If the quarterback, and really this is going to turn into like, hey, just shut your brain off. If the quarterback does the man alert, taps his helmet with two hands, that's man, and we're going to run that tunnel screen, that line screen, all the way into the core, catching the ball more or less at the core. Got to be ready for it though in the middle of the alley. All right, so basically anywhere in between here is when you got to be ready for the football. Okay, but man alert, scorcher turns into the shallow screen. Fish, where are you trying to score? Where are you trying to go? Yeah, opposite pylon, right? That's where we're trying to go. So everybody has to know that that's where the ball's trying to hit. All right, we're trying to hit that opposite pylon, and we're not going to be able to in man really effectively run four verts. So we're going to run that shallow screen. And again, same deal. Like if we do this, do we have a timeout? What's the situation? How much time's on the clock? Right? Do I really just try and play backyard football, get in the end zone because we got no time left? Or am I just kind of running out here? If I can't score, I'm getting out of bounds right away. Do we have 15 seconds left? Do we have 3? You guys got to be aware of that. Okay, so let's go back to this clip with Kai. I don't know if the situation is going to pop up on the scoreboard. I doubt it. Okay, it's not. That's okay. So we get this look, and right now we got 2 guys in the core, right? So in empty, when there's 2 guys in the core and a 4 down front, just football wise, just general question. What do you guys think is going to happen if there's 6 in the box? Yeah. If there's 6 in the box, there's probably going to be pressure, right? All right, there's going to be some sort of pressure. So they're playing a hot coverage and they're just playing 2 deep or 3 deep, 2 under, bringing pressure. So you can see the quarterback alert, alert. Good job by Kai. I got it. Great. Now we just got to stay flat down that line and it's full fucking clip, right? So even through here, Kai, like you're expecting the football, but you're running full speed. Obviously, we're catching it too far downfield. We get a flag. And this is fucking, I mean, barely, right? But still, we're getting a flag on that. So really good learning moment. Okay, that flag's flying because we're blocking downfield, catching the ball too far downfield. Okay. So that's Scorcher. Any questions with that? How do you guys?
So what's regular one?
Regular Scorcher?
Or
No, normal Scorcher is the 5 goal line comeback. Alert is the shallow screen. Yeah. The tunnel shallow screen. Okay, rebound. What's the change here, Kai? What do we from last year to this year? Last 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago to this year.
It depends on the quarterback. So
No, it doesn't. That's a good thought though. You're thinking it doesn't depend on the quarterback because we're always going to roll to the field. That makes sense. Quarterback's always going to boot to the field. regardless if it's Harp or fucking Reed or yeah, right-handed or left-handed quarterback. You know what I mean?
What was the one that we like had to switch?
That was penthouse.
Oh,
Yeah, different play. So you're always going to be to the boundary, and you're always going to do what? Yeah, you're going to chip and then just block forever. Really. And really, chip, I don't really care as much about as just you got to get a piece and you're blocking forever to the boundary. Okay, because what's going to happen is the guard or the center, one of them is going to release out here and get ready for the quarterback to come out and throw it. So you got to we have to make sure there's nothing coming from this backside so the quarterback can get out clean. Okay, that's your sole job, right? So taking a look at this, right? We're to the boundary here. He should be chipping and blocking forever, right? And you can start kind of going out, like lane doesn't go out, but make sure the edge is solidified because this is the biggest threat. This path and getting tackled. So make sure that edge is solidified. Okay, especially with the guys that we have. They can handle one or two guys up front. But that's what it'll look like. And you can see Jace left guard here. That's the track that they'll do, right? So that's the operation. It's a good look at it. Land just has to help out. And don't fucking watch. Don't watch. Just murder somebody. Just keep blocking forever. Keep blocking forever. Obviously, that's not what we want out of rebound. We want to throw that thing into the end zone. So here's a look at it and just the operation from this is what we'll probably get. So you want to eliminate this dude. They'll probably go 3 down and just bail everybody else out. If they do this, we got to be alert for what? What's the adjustment on rebound or the next play, the alert play? There you go.
Yeah.
Peak.
Wow.
Peak. Yeah. So you guys are going to end up blocking, right? So if we get peak and we go man alert, just like we had with Kai's play, everybody touches their helmet. You're going to flip to the field and you're going to work upfield and block just backyard football. Block the first color. Okay. If there truly is nobody, I want you guys to take a peek behind, right? So on our screens, we got an O lineman that usually comes out. So if we run uh like a anyway, going down a tangent, I don't need to. But you're getting upfield into the forest hash area, seam area, you're just blocking the first color. Okay. So this is what it'll be, peak. So instead of wasting you guys up here, you're going to release outside and get vertical. Not staying in the pocket. You're useless there, right? That's peak. That's the man alert for rebound. Good there? Questions? Aiden, you can fire away questions too, dude, because I know you and Mace will end up having questions.
All right, I got you.
Okay. Miracle. Okay, last play of the game. Sorry, let me go back to when would we run rebound and when would we run peak?
Run peak if they're playing pregame.
Yeah.
Like they just bailed everybody out.
Yep. Peak is yeah.
Shot. Or they-
Yep. And then rebound or what about position on the field?
Rebound. Like I don't know our quarterback's arm and stuff.
Yeah.
The
Strong.
50 and
40.
40.
Yeah, like the 40 and back. So our own 40 and further back. So if you can see in this, right, we're well beyond being able to run any of the other plays. So this is like our rebound. If this was the last play of the game and we were like, for example, here, if this was the last play of the game with Miles, we'd probably run miracle because we know Miles doesn't have the strongest arm. He probably can't throw it 70 yards. But that would be the situation. We got a long way to go. Okay. So it would be field position wise 40 to 50 and further back. Peak. Okay. Same deal. Miracle. This is end of the game. We would never run miracle end at half. It's too risky. Miracle is end of the game. It gets called that for a reason. It's just we're hoping a miracle can happen. So this is end of the game. All right, end of the game only. And we are out of Hail Mary range, out of rebound range. Okay. So we would run this, you guys being to the boundary. We'll kind of leak, take our time, and then release. Okay, so that slow release is really important. And then the operation would go quarterback snaps it, he drops back, he bangs this glance, paps post. Okay, when that guy catches it, the red dotted line is him pitching it to that receiver coming underneath. And then you guys need to be slow on your release to be the next pitch phase throwing it to you. And then you guys, as you go downfield, would have the next pitch to the quarterback. Okay, so that would be phase one. Phase two, after you throw it, right, and you can kind of see here. After that ball is lateral for the first time, it would go to you. Or sorry, this is the catch. Right. That's the pass. L is catching it, pitches it to the H, and then you guys would be not blocking. This is incorrect. Would be in pitch phase right here. Okay, I got it. I got to adjust this picture. Okay. But the important thing for this is once you guys pitch it to the quarterback, he's going to end up throwing it all the way across the field to the L that initially caught it, and he'll try and score on the opposite side of the field. So just try and block somebody, get into it if we get to that point. But here's what we did in spring. We ran it. Kai did it. And I think too slow here, right? We talked about this, but you're just too slow. I appreciate the intent of being slow, but we're a little too slow because now if he's going to get tackled here, you just want to be in phase, right? Now we're like 10-ish yards away. It's too far away. Okay. And you need to be in phase, just like a quarterback, running back in the option game. You need to be in phase until the ball is pitched. So don't ever assume, like if you see this dude after this pitch, if you see him start taking off, assume the ball is going to come to you at some point. So just get into phase. And when I say in phase, write this down. In phase is about 5 yards away from the guy. Obviously outside, right? Outside leverage. I'm gonna have to motor through here. So go back and take notes. I want to make sure this is staying on time here. All right. So there's a catch, bang, there's a lateral, boom. And then you guys need to be about 5 yards for Sam to be able, or whoever it is, to pitch it. That's a bad pitch anyway, but you got to be closer. And then good job by Kai, not just jumping on it. Like this is miracle, right? We're trying to score. So do what you got to do, keep this ball in bounds and keep it alive. So some good and some bad on this play, but good job by Kai just trying to keep it alive on that, right? Next phase would be quarterback throwing it, but we never got to it. Questions on that? No. Okay, victory. You guys will just be, toes at 7, 10, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just you're at least 7 behind the quarterback, and you're the safety valve. Have some alertness. The ball's fumbled. You got to be the last. Don't go in there to try and get the fumble. You are the fucking kicker on kickoff. You are the last reserve. You got to make the tackle. Don't shut your brain off on victory. Okay, so this is where you'll be. Anywhere between 7 and 10 yards. Okay, just ready for the ball or ready for the tackle. All right, garbage. Okay, this is Ricky Lucky. You guys should be front side, and then this flow will happen this way, and it'll just naturally, you don't even have to move. It'll work to you. All right, now, this is when ideally we want to run this 6 seconds less, 6 seconds or less on fourth down. Okay. And we're just trying to burn as much time as possible. So we can run this on the fucking 5-yard line. If it's fourth down, we got 12 seconds. We might just go ahead and do fucking garbage and try and burn as much time as possible. You can hold, right, in that situation, trying to just burn as much time and get the ball out. Okay. So always to the field. Always to the field. Okay. So this is the formation. Everybody's working right. Lance should be on the other side, so he doesn't have to do this. And that's why we're aligned to the field. So this can't happen. Like little leakage like that cannot get undercut by you guys. Because right now Lance's not in a great position. But if he was here, he'd be able to just get inside leverage already and help out Sev, who's just going to huck that thing. Let's look at the situation. 3 seconds left. Second quarter, trying to get out of here. Just, not have any issues. So instead of taking a knee, right, we're gonna run garbage. Why wouldn't we take a knee right here? They got a timeout. All right. Now we could, but the spot of the field, right? If we're trying to burn clock, he might kind of back up too far and get into the end zone. Now, can you hold if you're in the end zone? No. No. Safety, correct. Now, if it's the end of the game, we can afford a safety, and we'll tell you that shit. Like all these plays, guys, we're more or less going to have an opportunity to tell you on the sideline. But if we don't, and it's like, hey, we're running garbage, you guys got to go. You should know this shit that well. So can't hold because if we hold here, it's a safety. They get 2 points. End of the half, not great. End of the game, fine. We can afford to lose it. Doesn't matter. But can't hold in this situation, so nobody is. When does the clock stop? When the ball hits the ground. Yep. So we're never trying to catch it. So if you're on the sideline, don't beardy high point that thing. Let it hit the ground. Okay. Garbage. All right, center. Okay, you guys will be off center, right? Not behind the quarterback. You're going to be toes at 5, basically in your normal B gap alignment. Normal B gap alignment. Big thing for you guys here is to do what? Yeah, protect the edge. You got to beat the quarterback. Protect the edge, beat the quarterback. We're trying to get this ball where? In the center of the field. It's appropriately named. Center of the field. Trying to get to a situation where we can get a quick or a easy field goal, help out our kicker. So tie ball game, 31-31. We got 30 seconds left. All right, we're just trying to get this thing set up to where we can get a easy field goal, right? So they're going all the way to the opposite hash because their kicker probably likes the left hash more. But running back wise, don't be, out to lunch. You guys got a job to do. Protect the edge. Okay. Running back does nothing here. So don't be this guy. Be better than the NFL running back. All right. Spike. Okay. You guys can line up anywhere, right? On spike.
Yeah.
Trick question. No, yeah. Obviously spike is different than clock, right? Clock is you guys can line up anywhere. You just got to get set. Spike is a fake clock, and we are throwing that deep ball, trying to get an easy touchdown or a lot of yards, chunk yardage. But you guys have to line up really, yeah. I mean, ideally blindside. We'll probably have no time to really figure it out. So just get lined up, right? Get lined up. Because again, if we call spike, we're trying to fake that we're killing the clock is running. We're not gonna run spike. Go ahead.
Is that quarterback opinion? That's quarterback opinion, right? Because it's right. His name, he's elected.
Yeah. Yeah. Quarterback dependent. Yeah. Blindside to his backside. Right. But again, like, don't even worry about that. Just get lined up in the backfield. Pick a side and figure it out post snap. Because he's going to be under center, yeah? Because we don't clock from back here. We don't clock in the gun. It's a strong. But he's going to be back there. So really, you could just be behind him somewhere and then just figure out where the leakage would be and pick a side and commit to it. The biggest thing you got to know is you cannot be, if the quarterback is here, you got to get out of this pocket. You cannot be in his little pocket, okay? So just pick an edge and stick to it. These guys are going to be solid up front on the O-line. Pick an edge and get to it. Okay, so spike is fake clock. Surrender. This is everyone is holding play, right? Surrender. We're giving up yards. We're giving up time. We're giving up a safety if we need to. But we are up, 6 points or more inside the 5. We are going to burn some clock. You guys can hold and hold forever. Okay. So here is surrender. All right. Obviously a different formation and all that, but you can see, like, looking at everybody, they're all holding. Look at 47 down here. Tight end. Just holding. Just fucking holding this shit out of these guys. We're trying to burn time. Burn time. And don't be a menace on this shit. Fucking hold him. Like 47 is here. Never, ever, ever, ever give up. Because if 47 is doing his job here and the running back and the tight end on the left side are doing their job, we can burn 4 or 5 more seconds, right? So take some pride in making sure the quarterback doesn't have to go out of bounds too quick, right? We're trying to burn time. You can hold on surrender, okay? So they can afford to give up 2 points to make it 31, right? There's 6 seconds left. We want to burn all six, okay? If there's 12 seconds left, we're trying to burn all 12. Okay, sweet. That's it. All right, so there's a situation stuff there. You guys feel good about it? All right. Okay. Getting into weapons. All right. And obviously you guys just there's a lot of this stuff you guys do naturally and don't need to be coached on it, but I do want to go over, hey, like here's the stuff we do in practice and the reason why we do them is to really create more yardage. And this is I'm the ball carrier. I'm gonna do what I can to get extra yardage, right? Get yak. Okay. So got to keep these in mind when we have all these, right? Ball security is a premium. It is a non-negotiable. So when you make these moves and you use these weapons, you guys got to have ball security with it. So we'll touch on these right now. Okay. We got 30 minutes. I want to get you guys out of here. So um, we'll go over all this stuff right now, though. And if it goes a little long, it is what it is. If you guys got to leave, you got to leave. But it's going to be Zoom recorded. I'm going to go over it in one Zoom here. So try to break it down. And obviously, this isn't everything you could possibly do with the ball in your hands, but try to break it down into clumps of like, all right, with the ball in your hands, here's the different types of elusives you can make when you're in the city and there's people around you. A couple different things we can do, right? If you're in the country and you got a lot of space, there's some things we can do there. And then the situation we find ourselves in a lot at running back is that sideline run, trying to do everything we can to get as many yards as possible. You guys got to take a lot of pride in hey man, I'm responsible for getting us yards. Okay. And every coach will tell you, man, like yards equates to fucking wins. Okay. It just does. So here, that's all the stuff we'll go over today. So we'll hit each of these individually, but the classic jump cut, you guys all know it. All right. And I'm not going to beat a dead horse here, but this is what it should look like every time. Okay. And there's different ways we can do jump cuts, or it can be long ones, or it can be quick ones, but more or less like you are getting from point A to point B in one fluid movement as fast as possible. Okay. You can do it where it's, hey, man, I'm really not gaining much ground. In this situation, you don't need to. You should be able to feel a wash, right? Momentum's taking everybody this way. I don't need to get as much distance that way. Okay. So knowing how to do it and when to do it is just as important as, doing it itself, right? Like, do I get a lot of distance on my jump cut or not? Okay. So Land probably doesn't need to do this as much, but he's fully getting out of the reach of that arm tackle here. Okay. But the big thing, can you guys tell me what's the big thing on the jump cut? Get fucking vertical, burst out of this thing, right? No matter what you guys do, when you hit the ground, Land's completely off the ground right now, right? And we'll work this. You guys are completely off the ground. When your foot hits, it is an all-out sprint to get back to gaining yards quick, right? So he puts his foot in the ground, pads get low, and he bursts through that, gets 9 yards. All right, we're not gaining any ground when we do jump cuts for the most part. Sometimes that momentum takes us a little forward, but we are always bursting. So whenever you guys do like the spin and burst drill, right, or we do anything with a jump cut, the priority is the burst. So burst for 3 steps out of this and get some vertical distance after the cut. Okay, so that's one of them. Here's another. All right, Teo does a good job here. All right, and probably can afford to not cut as much, right? So this is probably too much on Teo's end. Little young Teo here a couple years ago. But we don't want you guys to go further than you have to, right? Don't need to go as far. He could probably just cut and start his vertical burst a lot sooner. But feet are leaving the air. I need to burst vertical, right? We want to stay as tight as we can to give you guys the option and have a two-way go wherever you go. So another look at it there. All right. So spins, okay? Different spins, really. There's ones that, hey, you're using it to make a guy miss. And then there's ones where you're using it, guys got you wrapped up or whatever it is, you're trying to break that tackle. Okay, so there's two different ones. You guys will see these on my notes sometimes. FMT stands for forcing missed tackles. BT stands for breaking tackles. So when you spin to force a missed tackle, right, just like a jump cut or a hurdle or whatever, you're trying to make that dude miss versus like I'm getting wrapped up. I'm trying to break this tackle. So in the city, Land doing a good job here of, right, I'm not getting tackled yet. I'm going to start setting up the spin right now. Number 7, that linebacker is playing too heavy to one way. He sees him overcommit, spins back the other way. And not all spins are the same. So like there's going to be ones where you need to gain distance or so yeah, you need to gain distance with your spin. This would be a situation you don't need to, right? This guy's committing this way too much. All you need to do is spin to just get back vertical versus like a dude is coming out, if this guy's rolling head on, right? You want to spin with a little bit of distance. Okay. So they're not all the same. So don't just spin in place all the time. This is a good look for Land, assuming you're not going to get tackled ever on these. Okay. Shouldn't be surprised when you come off clean on these spins. We're rolling, assuming we're not going to get tackled. And obviously we're bursting out of that thing. Okay. So really, really important. You guys got to assume we're not getting tackled on these spins. Okay. Here would be a situation where he doesn't need to get distance. I kind of get into a sideline run here. He gets vertical, makes one dude miss, kind of outruns him. A little sideline run. But we don't need to get a whole lot of distance here because 10 is already taking care of that. He's going too far one way, so we can just spin and make the guy miss in place. Right? So Land is never really getting off of that tick mark, which is fine. It's what's called for in that moment, right? Like he doesn't need to get distance back here. He just needs to spin here to stay on the ticks. What would this be an example of? I'll play it and let you. Forcing a missed tackle or breaking a tackle? Yeah, breaking a tackle, right? You feel that momentum. You feel this dude is going that way heavily, right? He's got his hand on Fisher's hip. He's trying to pull him. Fisher's going to just expedite the momentum. He's going to make that a positive momentum for the defender. And that excess momentum, right? Fisher spinning this way is not going to allow that right arm to hook onto anything. All right, so he comes right off of it. Not focused on anything else other than this one defender making this guy or Fisher making that one defender miss. Okay. Now there's other guys involved. They make the tackle, but the guy that Fisher was getting tackled by is not making the tackle because of that spin as he's getting wrapped up. So that would be a broken tackle situation. Okay. And that's going to be, in an instant, you'll feel it, but you'll spin with it and you can spin against it. Right. But here's another example. One guy's trying to bring us down. He's kind of wrapping us up, getting our center of gravity. And we're just going to spin and not allow him to hang on to anything, right? 55 got us wrapped up. And if we were to just try and keep going straight, okay, he can come down on the ankles, wrap us up. He's got something to hold on to with his hands. But here, Land leaves him high and dry, spins around that, and is able to get out of it because of that positive momentum. Really hard for those guys to wrap you up when they don't know where your momentum is going. So really good job there. And obviously always finishing, right? Assume these guys will not tackle you. That's one of the weapons there, okay? And then just fucking bananas. Absolutely bananas here. So kind of two of them in one. He's breaking a tackle initially. Good security there. Getting wrapped up, spin with it, right? Spinning with it. That dude's going to miss. He's got nothing to hold on to. And then we kind of start the spin here as that dude's wrapping up. Really kind of breaking two tackles here as opposed to making a dude miss. But really good job there hitting them back to back. Okay. Biggest thing on all of these fellas is Can't assume these guys are going to tackle you, whatever the move is. Okay, the dead leg, just a classic move out of you guys, any ball carriers. But the big thing here is not wasting movement. You got to go from point A to point B with your second step. So Mateo puts his foot in the ground here. His left foot here has to gain ground to the side he's going, right? So he definitely put some work into this, and it doesn't come naturally. Some of these are going to come natural to you guys, some are not, and you got to work at them. But this is a good job by Mateo. Foot in the ground, and then gain distance on the second step, right? Get your center of gravity low, set them up, and the suddenness is the biggest thing, right? Sudden, foot in the ground, go. Gaining ground, bang, bang, right? So good job by Teo there. Assuming he's not going to make you or bring you down, okay? Not always going to happen with a ton of time and space. But again, another example, Land putting his foot in the ground, second step, not really breaking too much stride, but he is getting distance from that dead leg. Bang, gaining ground, another yard on the second step. Then finishing. Love it. We got tail, get loose. Dead leg. Okay, same deal here. Bang. Foot in the ground violently, stopping your momentum going one direction, whatever direction that is, and you have to gain ground the other way. So Teo probably added another little jump cut he didn't really need to. I mean, Jesus, 19 just fucking leaving him in the dust. Okay, good example here. Like, you don't always need to be handshake distance, although that helps, right? But it is the suddenness, it's the violence that you guys do that helps this to make a guy miss, right? His path is one way. He puts his foot in the ground suddenly, violently, with some intent, and two is in no position to break down and redirect and tackle. So really good job. That dude is not even close to Teo. Makes the tackle because other guys get in the picture. Bang. Really good. I mean, he's not even fucking close, right? So, all right. A couple different examples. I got these on the hot folder. If you guys want to take a look, you can go through all of them. All right. Stiff arm, something that we work all the time. Mix in this with our ball security, always trying to give ourselves an advantage. So trying to get the ball in our outside isn't really the best term. It's really the away arm, right? Because it can be inside or outside. You want to get the ball in the away arm, right? So here it happens to be the outside as well, to be able to throw a stiff arm and help yourself get an extra, in this situation, 2 yards. Okay, not a ton, but it helps. Okay, 2nd and 4 is better than 2nd and 6. Okay, ball in the away arm, the outside arm here. He throws that stiff arm. Okay, obviously adding a little bit of a hurdle to it, but big thing here, what's he doing with his legs? Yeah, getting his legs out. He's clearing his legs, not allowing that dude to tackle him. Okay, get your legs out of the way to allow yourself to keep going and gain extra yardage. Just fucking bananas play. So unnecessary. What a dick. You know, this fucking guy. Thank God he's gone, right, guys? But the stiff arm here is the highlight, right? That's what we're trying to show. So, ball in the away arm, eyes are to the point of contact, whether it's his chest or the crown of his helmet, whatever it is, shoulder pad, doesn't matter. You guys got to shoot with your eyes on him. And then as he's coming down here, right, the only chance he's going to have, he's not going to be able to bring you down with his hands up there. All right, the only chance he's going to have is clipping your legs. So make sure you get your legs out of the way. And that's what happens here. Luckily gets his legs caught up into Land's legs and ends up tackling him that way. But shoot with your eyes on it. Extremely important. All right, the shove. Okay. The advanced, right, more violent version of the stiff arm. But this is when this is rare, a little bit more rare than everything we'll do. But when you get a guy that's kind of running with you, right? He's not coming at an extreme angle, right? His momentum isn't really down at you. So number 9 here is kind of running with you. He's close. He's in handshake distance. Okay. He's not in a great position to tackle. He's a little high. Okay. The biggest thing is that he's high. He's high up. Okay. If you guys want to get that the lights on, you can. But he's into your frame and he's not in a great position to tackle. Your hand, you can't see it here, is going to be on his chest, relatively on his chest area. And then you're going to violently push off versus like the stiff arm, you're locked out with your elbow. Here, your elbow is bent. He's into your frame, right? He's into your frame right here, but you're going to finish this thing off by shoving him away from you and legitimately pushing him away from you as you are in most situations, almost bouncing off of him, right? And kind of, we're going to push him this way as our momentum takes us this way, right? So you're kind of doubling the distance in a sense, if that makes any sense. Okay. The classic that you guys have seen a bunch, but this is a good look at it. We set a guy up, his momentum is kind of stopped right here, right? He's not screaming downhill. You got to know when to throw this. He gets into our frame, he's high. He's not in a great tackling position. So he gets into the frame and you finish with a violent shove. Elbow is bent, shove him, and then keep going, right? Obviously, we're going against the grain here. So you're not really pushing off and going the same direction, but you are pushing, violently shoving. Okay, go ahead, Najee. Just making people look stupid. All right, again, momentum, kind of going at the same speed, same direction, more or less. He gets into our frame, and we can finish with a shove. We are shoving, bending the elbow and pushing that dude off of us. Okay, tripod. Not always just a Hail Mary to get an extra yard or two, even though that's what ends up happening. All right, but we are putting our hand on the ground, giving us an extra point of contact on the ground to help us stay off and not go down on the ground, right? So we're having that extra point of contact, just like a tripod with a camera, that third point of contact on the ground to help us get a little bit more yardage. Good violent run. All right, assume that dude's not going to tackle you. These guys are just fucking lazy, man. 9 just tries to throw him off. Teo does a good job getting his hand on the ground, stays up, knees never touch, and he's able to get an extra 3 yards. So little things, but there are no little things. They're all details, all right? Teo again. Just a little extra stability, keep you up. Big thing on these guys. What do you got to do? Yeah, got to have the ball chinned, right? Can't have it swaying back. This is pretty good by Teo. It's not completely coming unglued from his chest. We want to make sure we're still closing the back door so there's no space to be able to punch through Mateo's underarm. Close the back door. Good job staying up. He throws a couple of them, right? Stays up. Absolutely a great run here. Really good. Okay, the Land Larson fucking highlight reel here. Hey, if you can do this, great. And there's different situations, and I think you guys are all capable of doing it. Obviously, Kai is. But if you can do it, great. But it's got to be a reaction thing. I think I'm dumbfounded by guys not seeing Land do this with his legs and then just stay up and try and smoke him because defenders are smart, right? They'll start reading the tendency of when you start doing this here, right here, Land starts getting pretty high. He starts chopping his feet here a little bit and then strides it out to jump, right? So that's a tell, and that's okay. If you can throw it every now and then, it's not going to be an issue, right? But commit to it if you're going to do it. Keep the ball fucking chinned. Make sure it's in your frame, attached to your chest. Protect the football, okay? For the guy, and that's one thing to know. Like as you study guys on tape, who has good tackling form, who's just fucking throwing their body at legs. Okay. You should be able to see that off of game tape, but you are committing to the hurdle. You got to jump as high as you fucking can. All right. This is different than like a insertion hurdle in the city. All right. Teo kind of throwing the stiff arm with it here, reacting to it. Doesn't really do any of the, short choppy steps and long stride to really hurdle a guy, but he's getting up. And the only thing he's got to do now is just clear with his left foot. Okay. Clear, or with the left leg rather. But he's starting it there. Second guy tackles him. Good attempt at it. Just fucking ridiculous. Keep the ball chinned. All right, it's surprising that this is not all of Land's hurdles, which is fucking bananas. There's still some I left off here. All right, but obviously this is crazy. It's a highlight reel play, but there is legitimacy to it because, not really much to do here for Land, and I think a lot of this is just instincts for you guys. You either kind of have it or you don't, but not many places for him to go here. He's able to clear a guy and then get an extra damn near 6, 7, 8 yards to set us up, and we actually score on this drive. So 2nd and 18, this turns it into a 3rd and manageable. And like, if you commit to it, you got to commit to it. All right, this dude's not really in a terrible position, but Land commits to it, tries to get up and clears him with both legs. So if you can do it, great. If not, no worries. Just an option for you. Okay, the truck. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Oh yeah, we'll get to it. Oh fuck, I swear I had yours on there. I put yours on there. I don't know why it's not on there. Your hurdle. Yeah. It's bullshit, man. Fucking bullshit, man. Damn, Kai. No love. Just going in line with the always finish forward thing, right? There's gonna be situations where you feel like, hey, that maybe a dude's not too low, maybe he's in a good position. All right, and you just lower your shoulder at the end of the day. Deliver a blow. It might not look like this every time. Jesus. Fucking, oh, nice. I love 42's reaction. Yep, got him. Yeah, I got him. Jesus Christ. Good stiff arm there. Really good lean, trying to stay in. And kind of the game within the game, man. Like, there's winning the battle, there's winning the war, but like if you can do this on a guy, it's gonna give him some pause in the next time he tries to tackle you. And even his teammates too. Right. So a lot of benefit to mixing up your game and being able to do a little bit of both. All right. Like getting the fishes here in a second. It's awesome to be able to have different pitches in your arsenal, not just have a fucking 100-mile-an-hour fastball all the time. Guarantee you, Fowler's not thinking the hammer will be laid down here. So we throw in a changeup and fucking lay the wood. It's awesome. Second guy tackles you. Out of bounds. Good job trying to stay in, too. You can see Fish's feet trying to stay in. It's really good cerebral awareness, where you are, what you're trying to do. Really fucking good. You got just a massive bodies on the fucking ground there. Those other view is really cool, too. Okay, the insert hurdle when we're in the city. Okay, we got people around us. If you're running inside zone, whatever, you just got a lot of people around you. Probably not a great idea to hurdle. You're probably not going to get a whole lot of yards if you're just straight up trying to jump over a guy. So you're trying to get your legs up and keep your pad level down. Okay. So good look here from Land doing it. And there's been a lot of examples from really over the years of you guys doing it, but we're not really jumping over a guy. You're just trying to get your feet elevated to whatever, whether it's a person or an arm, or you're just trying to get up and over that and try and keep your pad level as low as possible to get your feet back on the ground, like Land's doing here, to be able to make another move or make another dude miss or get extra yardage. So it's not always about how high you can get. Definitely want to be able to get our feet back on the ground as soon as possible. So right here, jumping over a entire human being on the ground, but it's not like I'm trying to jump as high as I can. I'm just trying to get up and down with my lower half. Obviously, Teo's pad level is getting a little high, but you're just trying to get up and down as quick as possible. People in the city trying to get through as quick as you can and be a threat when your feet hit the ground. Okay. Also in the city, we got the glancing blow. If you can stay up on these, okay, great. But ultimately, this is a situation where, man, kind of like the sideline run, like you're almost kind of accepting the fact that you're going down. This, if you're going to watch or take notes on one, to me, this is one of the most important things for you guys to be able to do. Okay. To be able to get tackled on your own terms is one of the most beneficial things you can do in football. As someone who carries the rock, you're going to be subject to getting hit over and over and over again. The more you can alleviate those big hit, big collision plays, the longer you will last and the less likely you are to get hurt because best ability is what? Availability, right? And I think, shit, man, like probably the first time you haven't been banged up in some capacity for an entire like 4 weeks, right? So fucking awesome. And being able to be on the field, you're able to showcase what you can do and obviously help the team. So when you get into these situations, whether it's in the city immediately with a bunch of guys around, that's when it's going to show up the most, or whether it's in the country, you're coming out of this thing and you feel like your feet aren't underneath you completely. Someone who might be trying to tackle you. You're just trying to not take this collision head on, right? You don't want this to be a massive hit. And so you're just trying to alter that path just a little bit to take a smaller impact on the play. Like, guarantee you this was barely felt by Kamara. Okay. And there's going to be situations where you got to be smart, right? Yeah, run a dude over, great. But more often than not, we got to be smart about what we do and pick and choose, just trying to eliminate those big hits. And they come up at any given time. So Teo does a good job here of reacting. Okay, really hard to execute a spin to be able to make this dude miss. And he's not wrapped up quite yet. So he needs to be able to just avoid the big collision. Like there's no time. Like it's split second. I got to react. I'm just not trying to stand up like a pop-up dummy and just take a absolute spear piss missile to the chest, right? Or the shoulders or whatever, right? So you're just trying to get out of the way as much as possible to avoid a big hit. So good job by Teo there. And he's obviously going down, right? Like, you're going down in that moment, but you still want to avoid that big collision. Same deal here with land. We get vertical, and then the next guy, we're kind of off balance right here, not in a great position. He's probably trying to dead leg a little bit, but you're going to know this in the moment when it happens. Like, man, I really just got to do what I can do. And obviously, he's not ready in a position when he lands to like make a dude miss or anything. Just really, the main objective is to not take a huge hit because this is a scary situation. You guys being off balance with a dude screaming down at you. Really good job there, not taking a huge hit. Same deal, right? You can see the lack of contact that this defender just really goes right past Fish, gets a little bit of him, but we're able to get a couple yards. But ultimately, we're not taking a huge hit, and we're able to save ourselves and live for another down. Really good job there. Because there's just not much here, not much going. Okay, some of the things that we don't talk about that much. Turn these lights on. Is the when we're in the country, right? Or Fish, can you hit it? Just get the lights. When we're in the country, right? Big thing. I don't hit on a lot, but put yourself in the defender's shoes of, okay, they do pursuit drill all the time. All right, ball carriers, going downfield. All these guys have these different pursuit angles based off of where that defender is. So, what's your goal in this is trying to really shake it up and make a sudden change in your direction or your movement to not allow the defender any sort of time to plan, right? So as you go through these. That's the main thing. And there's a variety of different ways you can do it based off of what your skill set is and who you are as a player. But ultimately, the biggest thing is just changing up what you're doing. So if Land just continues to do this, right? If he's got the speed, great. And I would hope to God, if you feel like you got the speed to beat these guys, just roll. But if you don't and you know yourself, right? Change it up because these dudes will not expect you to mix up something on a longer run, right? Or when you have more time and space, they're not going to be expecting that. So when you get out in these situations, we're going to watch one guy. So 37 right here. Okay, he's tracking Land at a specific angle, and he's going on that angle the whole time. You see nothing changes. Lands on this track, going straight, and then Land all of a sudden just goes at the dude, right? It's all going to depend on, I mean, these are all context-based, fellas. But Land decides to go at him as his sudden change to mix it up. And this dude is in no way ready to make a tackle. Like, you think that's a good tackling for him. No, it's not, right? So your goal is to just get these guys into these suspect situations where they're not in a position. And Land sends him to the ground. It's just the next guy that makes the tackle. But that's the goal, right? You're just trying to change it up and see how good they can react in a split second. Same deal here. More so of the lean, but like you can see Lamb puts his foot in the ground and is able to stay in bounds. This dude's not able to take him down or effectively stop him in his tracks because Lamb puts a sudden move on, right? Bang. Leans into the dude. It can be this, it can be, cutting back against the grain, whatever it is, attacking the weak arm. But this dude's not in a good position to tackle, standing straight up, and Land obviously is a little off balance and goes flying, but gets another 7 yards out of it. So helping yourselves in those little moments are going to be big just for, again, gaining extra yards. That's all we're trying to do when we talk about, this type of cut up, giving yourself a chance to get more yards, right? Easy to just accept this and go out, but he changes up the angle. 16 is surprised, no idea how to tackle him. He just kind of hits him, and we're able to get a lot of extra yards out of it. Okay. Another thing in the country, when you guys got somebody really on your vapor trail, right? We talk about getting into the wake of somebody's trail when we run routes in our offense. Okay, if somebody's in your vapor trail as a ball carrier, making a move to switch it up, right? And this is still a sudden change type moment here. But looking at the defender in his track, okay, there's a surprise, a sudden change that this ball carrier puts on to switch it up, and that guy's not ready for it and doesn't make the tackle. So you're just trying to get them off base, keep them guessing, right? Just don't allow them time to plan and execute. So 6 is just on this track, thinking he's going to hawk him down from behind. We just change it up just a little bit, and it's enough to break that tackle. All right, sideline run. So the leading up to sideline run is the lean that we emphasize here, right? So always trying to stay in bounds. That's our, damn near a non-negotiable for us. We're always trying to stay in bounds. Once we start getting towards the sideline, we got to lean, right? And this is, in my opinion, a situation like when it came up last year, right off the rip, when this play happened, I was like, damn, Lane, you could have fucking scored, right? Because if we assume this dude's not going to tackle and we lean like this, okay, he's going to fall down and we should be able to, like that. You guys have seen Land stay in with more, with more space than this, right? So I know he gets hit a little bit, but you just never know how this dude is going to execute the tackle. So lean into it, assume he's going to fuck it up. And if he makes a great tackle, okay, sweet. Tip your cap to him, but you're leaning into that thing so you can stay in bounds. And if we had an extra yard of space, guaranteed Land scores here because he's up and this dude's on the ground, right? So we're always leaning into that thing to start off the sideline run, okay? This is an example of why, right? Like why we need to do it because we end up just running out of bounds way too early whether it's a lack of awareness in the moment or whatever it is, kind of a brain fart, but we're getting way too close to the shark's teeth. We need to start leaning in. And I know Teo feels number 5 right here, kind of barreling down at that like negative angle, right? So we got to lean into it sooner because we just get out of bounds way too quick. All right. We're not leaning. We're just really straight up and down. So we got to lean into that thing and we take extra hits because we already stepped out of bounds and it doesn't matter. So, oh, well, there you go. Good. Kids in the way. All right. And then here's a good job just finishing this thing off, leaning into the dude. Even here, you feel like, hey, I'm close. I'm going to get in regardless. Still, lean into it. Lean into it. Don't let his momentum knock you out of bounds or whatever it may be. You are leaning into that thing, assuming he's going to try and hit you in contact. All right, good look at it there. Even if we're on the 2 fucking yard line, man, still got to do it. Just Illinois State getting leaned on. Okay, textbook example. This is a good example of land not getting any ground with the spin and just fucking pirouetting and getting smoked. But the lean is really good here. All right. Leaning, not getting knocked out of balance, and just getting tackled in a lazy manner. All right. Sideline run. You guys need to roll. You can't. It's 3:05. Okay. Sideline run. So there's really 3 forms of executing this. The least of which is accepting it, right? They got multiple guys there, and we're just going to accept our fate and go out of bounds. But we're not going down without swinging. So first one is beat it. Okay. We get into this situation somewhat, right? You got the defender here and you're running towards the sideline. Okay. Well, if he's got a poor angle on you, your first option is going to be to beat it with speed, right? If you can beat it with speed, man. That is going to eat up more yards and that's going to get us to the end zone sooner. So we're going to beat it with speed if we can. That's the priority. So all those drills we do, all the sideline run stuff we do, your first and foremost, your first option is always to beat it with speed. If I can beat him with speed, do it. Right? Good look at land there. Just beating it with speed, man. That's the easiest way to eat up yards. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Love it. Looks easy when you can do it the right way. Next one would be attack, right? He's got a poor angle. Okay, he's trying to attack you too far downfield. He's got a poor angle. You're going to attack his weak arm, right? You're going to attack back into the field based off of his angle, his pursuit angle. So I'm trying to beat it with speed here. We realize we can't. This defender's working too high. Put your foot in the ground and attack his weak arm, right? Obviously, the less steps, the better. So try to minimize those as much as possible. But his goal is to beat this dude one-on-one. He does so. Okay. And then the next guy obviously is a different situation, but that's a good look at just beating the poor pursuit angle by that defender. Another one here. Okay, obviously, this is kind of a bang-bang situation. If you can beat it, great, but he feels like he's got a positive angle, a good angle. So attack his weak arm, and that can be in a variety of different ways. Sometimes their momentum just takes care of itself. You don't need to work back into the field. You can just hit the old step back and then finish forward. Okay. And then obviously if we get into a situation, there's multiple guys. I don't think I ever want to see you guys accept one guy with a good angle. Right. It's got to be multiple guys gang tackling where you would end up accepting that. But I always want you guys to finish on these plays, even when you accept it. So it should never be like a true clean, just step out of bounds. Okay. Because this is what happens, right? You got to be active. If you're going to accept it, you got to be active. If you're going to go out, fucking run out, right? Run out of bounds because the dumbest thing in football is getting hurt out of bounds. Like there's no need. It's totally unnecessary. So if you're going to go out of bounds, go out of bounds and fucking run away from these dudes. Don't take an unnecessary hit because he's out of bounds right here. So do your damnedest to not take this extra hit because who knows what could happen. especially if I'm down there around you. I want to get my fucking legs clipped out. Look like Chappelle is last year. Did you guys see that?
Is that who got taken out? No.
No. It was this past year in the fall. Or was it? Was it on here?
I think someone got taken out. What's your player?
I think it is. Oh my God, I didn't even realize it didn't play it all the way through. Yeah, it is. Oh, Jesus. It's fucking nightmare. If you break your arm or wrist or anything on those plays as a coach, it's a bad look. Okay. So we saw that one. All right. Again, if you guys are going to go out or accept it, like it should be that. If it's one dude, you guys should be able to take care of him. And I would say lean here and try and get more if you can. But if you're going to accept it, like there should be some sort of a punishment that that guy has to pay for it, right? Even if he makes a tackle out of bounds, you guys should be able to make him pay for it a little bit. All right. That's all we got. Oh yeah, these are just extra plays. Okay. Good stuff. That's it. Let me stop the recording.